Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Hello Vinit. Hello Robin. Hello Kapil. Hello Ona Nidai. Hello Exom Bob. How are you guys? I hope you are all doing great. Yeah, today we're going to be making something like this. A beach, some sand. You really well? Ah, nice. Hello, just harmless potato. Your legend back with another amazing tutorial. Thank you. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Maybe before we do that, let's do some quick promos to keep the channel afloat. Okay, so this is MoGraph cow animation. It's an amazing add-on for particle systems, and let me just play for you the trailer quickly here. It creates amazing particle systems. You can use it to do quite a lot. Manipulate particles. Do stuff like this that are really hard to do with the default Blender. So yeah, I'm going to leave a link in the description, and if you want to check it out, you can use my affiliate link. It helps out the channel really a lot. Yeah. Then there is also Sound Reactor. If you want your objects in the scene to react to sound, like play to the rhythm of the music you have in there. The Sound React add-on is an amazing add-on for that. Link again is in the description. And then finally, if you want to do some amazing fluid simulations, Flips Fluid is a superior fluid system compared to the default Manta Flow fluid system. It adds a lot to the fluids. You can do quite a lot. Again, links are going to be provided in the description. Okay, let's do some landscapes. Yeah. Let's do this. Either with the cat image. How are you seeing it? Okay, glad to see you again. Okay, let's see how we can approach this. I think we can start with the water. Should be the easiest part of this. Is any of you working on anything amazing? I like your Blender live. Still new to Blender and looking forward to creating scenes like the ones you build in Blender. Ah, nice. Thank you. Let's add our sky system. I'm going to use cycles. Let's use a sky. I'll just bring this up, bring this down, and I think we're going to rotate it. The sun, we can rotate it to negative 45. You're welcome, Madam Perry. Thank you for showing up as well. Anyway, so let's create the water. The water we're going to use, let's see, can we use a glass shader? A transmission or glass. I look forward to any opportunity to create game backgrounds like Genshin's Genshins. Do I know that one? Genshins. Ah. Huh. Okay, let me have this bookmarked because I'm seeing some amazing something like this is interesting, something we could do maybe in the future. So yeah, I think that's something I would try. I would like to try. Okay, let's add some water bumps or waves. Let's use texture Voronoi. Save this as beach. You love anime style environments in Blender? Yeah, I think we're going to do that again. Go back to that series again. I'm also starting to miss it. Yes, add texture, noise texture. And another. Usually want to have this scaled. Something like that. Let me add a ramp. So that's going to be our water. But as you can see already that this water is transparent. So we need it to have something we can add. Before we do that, let's add let's create this here. Let's do a shader plane. Okay. And we're going to increase the music a bit, okay? Okay, let's sculpt in some detail. Let's sculpt the island. I think we want it to... I'm going to turn on Dino Topo here. Yeah, I think that's a good starting point. Okay. Now we can become a bit more detailed. We want this area to be quite uneven. Let's see. Let's first scale this noise up. Just going to just need to line up this. Hey, burning trap. Hello, good sir. Hope you good from beach sim. I'm going to try this in Blender. Nice. And since we have just started, it should be easy for you to catch up. Okay. I think we need. Let me see. Make the base of the water. Let me add on Dino Topo here. Quite uneven as well, because make the water a bit deep. Okay. Now we need to start texturing, and actually I think to make our life simpler, we can also just kind of make this side kind of a bit mountainous, I think. Yeah, something like that. Now the hard task of texturing this. Okay, we need a few layers for this. Will you animate the water? I will see. We'll see. I will try and see if we can animate the water. Okay, so let's start the task of animate. Let me get our texture coordinates. Texture coordinates, and I just want to separate okay, we want several layers. If you look closely, let me see if I can show you that. We have different layers. We have like dirt, then we have some stone layer here. This is stone. Then we have sand. Then we have wet sand, and I guess we have a different type of sand, and then another layer of rocks and stuff. So let's first create those 3 layers. I think I can do. Let me do a constant. I'm using both Eevee and cycles. So the screen here is cycles, but here I'm previewing in Eevee. Okay, so we want to start at the bottom. Maybe not totally at the bottom, somewhere there. You want multiple layers. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. So that means we need like 4 nodes or something. So okay, so that's going to be our rock layer. Then this red layer is going to be this bluish sand. It shouldn't be too much, be something like that. And then we can have a wet layer, this wet layer, so I can give that a green layer like that. Shouldn't be very big. It should be. I can come back and control these layers a bit. This rock layer shouldn't should come up to there. They should be around there. Then we need the white sand. And then should be around there, and then the rest will be dirt. So now let's start preparing shaders for that, for the different masks. So let's start with the sand, or with the rock, with this grass. I don't know. Ground. Let me go to my texture folders. Search for ground. I'm going to use this import image node. So this here, let me use a color mix RGB, and I can have this as color 1. Let me make sure that I'm using object mapping, or let me just unwrap this using cube projection. Just scale this. So we want this to just be in the white portions because we are trying to get this here. So I can have this here. I think we need to use a convert. Hello, I'm sorry, I don't understand the language you're saying, but you can use a greater than just to get only the white area, because that's where we want the grass to be. Let me see, just make sure that yeah. And then we need sand. Let me see, do I have sand? Let me just get that from Google. Sand texture. He said, do you speak Russian? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. I do not speak Russian. Let's get a sun texture we can use. Yeah, let's get this. And this sun will be in the black area of our mask. In the black area of our mask. So again, we can get that mask using a greater than sign. So for that we can use, I think, compare. I think that's it. Let's see. Yeah, only the black area like that. So if we get our sand, which is this, I need to scale it up. Why did you learn to do this? It's practicing over and over and watching a bunch of tutorials. I pick up a few tricks that you can. So now we can mix this, but this time use this mask. I think this has to go up. Yeah, so you can see the sand layer. We can come back and fix this if we change from constant to is. Okay, so that will create a few issues, I think. It needs to be constant. Let's see how this looks. Now, I don't want it to drag on too much. So instead of, let me see. Can we do it a different way? Yeah, let's make the process much easier. Instead of using a gradient mask, it's very easy to difficult to control the different layers. What we can do is just use vertex colors. So let me first get rid of this here. Let me pause the render a bit and get rid of this. I bring back the principal BSDF. Let's first take things step by step. Bring back the water. Okay, and the good thing is that we can see the depth of the water, and we can also add next tutorial, make a classroom cartoon. Yeah, we can try that. Okay, before you even try anything else, let's see. Let's just populate the scene with rocks and other things. We can come back to the water shader a bit later. Hello, Burning Bright. How are you? Glad to see you. Okay, what was I trying to do? Oh, I wanted to add an absorption, volume absorption. It kind of gives the water a little bit of depth. Doesn't seem to do much here, but that's okay. We can come back to that. What's the shortcut to connect a node? You just hold down shift and drag from one node to the other. Okay, let's add Let's first add some vegetation. Just so we can get some scale. I'm going to create a plane like this. Again, like I said, we're going to come back to the water a bit. Let's first make the scene a bit beautiful. Let me add a shrink wrap to this like that, and then go to my add a hair system, and the turn on advanced. The velocity should be only in the Z direction. I'm going to go to my asset library and find a tree, simple tree. Here, just add that in, and we're going to use that as, let me call it tree. Oh, instancer. So we're going to grab this tree and use it as the instance object. Let me just have this in the backup collection. Okay. And bring the scale of this up. The rotation is, if you go to the rotation, we want to use global, I don't know, Y, Z, or yeah, we want them to face up. We do have a lot of trees here. Let's use something like 30. Try to randomize the rotation. It doesn't matter, but let's randomize the scale. Okay. Also don't want to show the instancer, so let me have that hidden. So this will give us, these are going to be very useful for showing the scale. So I can start duplicating these where we might want the forest. Let me go into here, random, turn on random colors. So just add some trees. Hello, Rusandu Isanye. How are you? Yeah, we at 34 likes. If we can get it to 50 likes, that would be amazing. We have 58 people watching. So 68 people watching. So it would be amazing if at least anyone who hasn't left a like. It would be really amazing. Okay, so this is where we are now. Let me pause for a bit. I think we can add. We can try not 1,000, but 100 particles. Okay, we have at least one type of tree there. Just like, thank you. Now, the texture detail we have here is not great. Just scale this. Scale it down like that so we have some good texture detail. Then let's create a gradient for this water so that the water on the inside is a bit bluish like we have in the image. Okay, what I'm going to do is grab this and create a gradient. I can use texture coordinates and then a separate XY. We can separate the object position, Z position, like that. And what I'm trying to go for is the water level. So I'm going to grab this. Let me see, object. Let me see, what is it called? Yeah, I want to add a math node so that I can push the gradient a bit down. So now we can add a math node, a car ramp. Actually, I want the inverse of this mask. So let's try adding a mapping node here. And I'm just going to rotate this 180 degrees so that, let me see, will that give us what we want? Yeah, I think this is going to give us what we want. Actually, instead of using this car ramp, it's going to be very difficult for me to line up things. I'm going to add an empty object and just use it as the water level, so I can move this up and it can control where the water level is. So now I can create the colors I want, so with a color ramp. So we have a deeper blue, then kind of a greenish look to that, like something like this. If you add a math node with a multiply, I think you can scale up the gradient a bit. Like that. So I want to add a color mix RGB. Just so I can mix these two. I'm going to grab this and this. Let's see now if I use this as the base color. Flip the color ramp. Oh, that could also have worked. As you can see, there are usually several ways to achieve something. So you can see we have some colors in there. I think I can move this a bit up. So I think we can use this to control the depth, the look of the water. Maybe make it a bit greenish like that. Bring up the metalness. Why would I do that? Because that would just make things more reflective. I don't think it gives us the look we want if we bring up the metalness. Oh, you mean the metalness for the water? I'm not very sure if that's going to give us something we want. Okay, let's also have the same gradient. So let me frame this Control J and call this water basin, and then duplicate this frame. And let's focus now on these, because we have been focusing on the water. Now let's focus on this layer here. So I'm going to let me look for a different sand. I think, okay, seems that's the one. Okay, so we want to create a weight map. So let me actually call this weight line, which is this line here. Now to do that, we already have the mask set up, except we don't want any of these colors. We just need this. So we have this. We can move it around like that. If I actually isolate this for a bit, you can see how this is going to look. This is going to be our mask. We can also add another car ramp and just do something like this. So we can control the wetness line. So I can bring it lower. Again, we're creating this, or I can move it up or down by simply doing that. And this wet mask, we are just going to use it to mix. So we can do a shader mix, blend these two. And I just use this mask. I just first get let me have this as the roughness. This can be now our mask here, and this shouldn't be in the base color. It should be this. So right now it doesn't look like there is any difference, but what we can do, if we add a color ramp, RGB curves, and because you can see the wet line is usually a bit darker. You can see we can make that dark as well. I think I can add a math node here, a multiply, just to make that wet line more visible. And we also want to make sure that this is set to clamp. Yeah, something like that. Just want to make that weight line really clear as that. So you can see where the weight line is. Of course, we can make this a bit more cleaner. Let's see how this comes out in the render. So that's how it looks. I think it also goes a bit deep in the water. So I might want to move this a bit and also make it less. We don't need to make it too wet. Yeah, a bit like that. And I also want it to, because you can see how deep it's going into the water. Yeah, so I think I need to move this so it's not going too deep. Yeah, something like that. I think our trees we might want to make our trees a bit bigger or taller, so they can cover more ground like that. Let me also vary the scale a bit more, like that. Let's add in some large rocks. I think I have some rocks that we could use. Yeah, I don't want to have trees growing inside these rocks, so let me just move that. Just move the trees out of the way of okay. Now we can also get some palm trees. Let me use my quick trees. Quick trees add-on. Because I have some palm trees. They're a bit heavy, but I think since we are not going to use too many, I will be okay. Let me see. Just make sure that I'm using the latest one. I also think these rocks are really helping out. Let me see. Okay. Let me go to my palm correction. I can grab maybe this, add that. It's quite a heavy tree, but we can, let me see. The tree is quite dense, but since we're going to be using instances, I don't think it's going to matter too much. So I'm going to grab this, create a new collection. We can use about 50 trees. Make sure this is a new particle system. Call it palms. Hello, Ellis. How are you? Glad to see you. 45 likes. Let's get that to 50. It would be amazing. And if you're new, you could subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And yeah. Anyway, so for the palm, yeah, we need to change this to palm tree. Where is my palm tree? Oh, here. So I need to switch this to this palm tree. Okay. Now, the viewport is starting to slow down quite significantly. So what I'm going to do is come to this, and in the viewport, I want to change this to bounds. That should make my viewport faster. So I'm going to scale this up. And these should only grow at the beachfront. Palm trees usually mostly appear at the beachfront. Like there, we don't need that many. You can use 50. In the render, I should render palm trees. Yeah, something like that. We might need to change the materials. I'm going to change the material of this tree a bit. So instead of using all this, no, let me first go back to this tree and make a few changes. Because it's really dense for no good reason. See, and first untriangulate. And let me select just the leaves. Yeah, we're dealing with a lot of geometry here, so that's why it's posing. I think because I'm also previewing the let me first let's pray Blender doesn't crash. Yes, 50 likes. Thank you. Let me first and Okay. First, let me remove this because it's also adding. Hey, game pool, what's up? Okay, let's come back here, change this to solid. I'll go to edit mode. Just make a few things, changes to this. Case. This tree is really. No, let's make our own tree because a new tree from scratch, that's much responsive than what we're using here. Let's see. Find a palm tree. A palm tree leaf. Texture. See if we can find something. This has reflections baked in, which is not good. Let's see if we can find something else. Let's go to textures.com. I think these can work. Just create one. Let me see if I can find a palm. Okay, there is this. Maybe this. Render a branch, use then image as a branch. I think that would take quite a lot of steps. I'm going to find an easier way to do this, I think. Let me see. Do this. Yeah, let me grab this. This one is not doesn't have an alpha mask, but this one we can easily make an alpha mask of. I'm also going to grab this. Let's see if this. Okay, we have one. I think I can also use this if I can get the download link. Yes, I am. My God. Click VSL. Ugh. Process of just downloading an image. Okay, let's create a plane. Let me go back to our beach scene and get rid of the palm tree. We're going to create our own a new palm tree that is much lighter for our scene. So just going to have a plane like this. New, I'll call this. Actually, if you're using the texture folder add-on, I've made a new update. Let me see, where did I download these? In my downloads, I have made a new update where you can. Let me go to that link. Because I need to link my downloads folder. Okay, so yeah, if you have a PNG like this, you can use, I have a few shaders here. I want the translucent alpha with image. So that sets up the shaders I need to use for this. So you can see, sets up everything. Let me turn on my quick functions. Material for clip. Just need to make sure that have yeah. So we have our palm, and I think they usually bend at the middle a bit like that. We don't want to use too much polygons. That's why you see I'm very conservative with my poly count. Yeah, something like that. And the origin can be there, origin to 3D cursor like that. Now we can create the stalk or the stem, and I think we can just use a curve object. How's it going? Let me just show you the render we have here. We're making progress. Let me use auto. Okay. And so are you done with the jogging? So palm trees are usually, I think, so the bottom is usually bigger. Something like $36 and you gave up. And how many did you make? Like, how many kilometers did you jog this time? Let me go to my plants folder. Create a back like this. And see what we have. Now it's just about, or actually we can just, to instance this, we can just create an object like this, use a hair system. We need about, let's start with 8 or 10. This types of environment is not that much heavy in Unreal Engine, I guess. Yeah, because the way Unreal Engine works is different from Blender. Blender has to save all the data you're working with. That's why usually this kind of stuff is a bit heavy in Blender. It's very hot today here in UK. I managed just 4 kilometers. 4.3. Nice. That's not bad. Don't think I can do that myself, but okay, let's apply the scale, apply the rotation. I'm going to have the hair grow from the turn on advanced rotation, and the normal can be somewhat like that. render should be this. Alright, you can see how things look already. This should be a much a lighter version of what we want, of what we have. Yeah, so I'm looking at some other reference images here of these palm trees. You see, they have some sort of they have a brownie tips. So let me grab the original one here. Look at the UV map here. It's like that. I want the tips to be also to have a little bit of brown to them. Let me grab this image just so you can see what I'm talking about here. So I want them to have that brownish at the pointy edges. And I think we can use that. We can use texture coordinates and do a separate. Actually, no, we need a gradient. A spherical gradient. That starts from the UV. That is best of the UV. And I think I need a different set of UV map. So I'm going to create a new one, and so that it doesn't affect the texture we have created. I'll call this gradient. So I will bring that in. UV map gradient. Let's use that. And now we can come to that, and so you can see how that creates the shape of the leaf. Like that. I'm going to give this a color, so a color ramp. So there's a gradient that goes from a brownish like this, and I think I can even add another gradient here to greenish on the inside. I think this can, yeah, build something like that. Yeah, something like that. And if we look at the texture, it looks like that. If we mix it with this, we can essentially achieve somewhat a similar look. Let me see. If we use overlay, yeah, you can see we are making the tips have that, yeah, appear a bit like that. So I can use this now as the base. And we have something like that. Just make it a bit less so that it's not too much. Perfect. We can add some coconuts. Why not? Since we already have that, we can just use the trunk material. I'll call this trunk. I'll use the trunk material on this. Duplicate this, but without the particle system. Finally, call to you live. Great content, sir. Thank you, Rolling 8S Records. Thank you. May I ask, are you like a fun Blender artist, or are you doing this? How many of you do this as work, as a job, as opposed to a hobby? Really interested to know. Yeah, let's do some concordance. And how many of you want to turn this into an actual business? Just started Blender 2 months ago. Wow, nice. Nice. I think we can do a few variation. You want to turn this into a business or just a hobby? Right. Okay. I want some variation like that. So let's call this leaves. And here. Oh, you want to turn it into a business? Nice. Like what kind of business? What are you going to focus in? Video games, animation, because it's a really broad business. Is it VR? Is it ArcViz? What exactly? What kind of business are you trying to focus? One idea of a palm tree, they are getting kind of big. They're getting bigger on the top. Are they? Where are the branches? Oh, yeah. I understand what you mean now. You're saying they get bigger up here. Something. Like that. And I think these leaves shouldn't be that big. No, we don't need 35 trees. And like I said, we want some variation. So let's have this as a group, which we have already done. And here we can change this to collection and use the leaves collection. And yeah, that's better. These coconut trees, let me give them a different material. Cocoa nut. You're focusing to get a job. Yeah, still, what type of job do you want to get? Because again, Blender is quite broad. Let me do a color overlay here. Yeah, something like this. Okay, let's make a few variations of this. Maybe like 3 variations, and then we can start instancing. So I'm going to make a thinner one with a different and turn on proportional editing. This doesn't look too realistic. But maybe something like that. We also seem to have too much bend. There's a few variations. We can make a shorter one, a really short one. Yeah, like that. And now what we are left with is just to make instances real. Hide the original. Just grab this. Let me first convert this into an actual mesh. Okay. Join this into a... Convert this to a mesh. Yo, 61 likes. That's amazing. Be amazing if we can get it to 70. See if we can hit a new milestone for the number of likes we have. Okay. It will not disable in the particle system, or just add this once. What? I think I missed your message. What do you mean? Animation and advice, but like Atom, I'm just trying to learn as much as possible, creating a portfolio, giving myself 6 months. By the end of the year, we'll start putting services out there. That's a good timeline, realistic, and a realistic one. So good for you. So we have one palm tree. And when you say services, do you mean like find an architecture firm and make instances real? Let me have this in the BK. Change, reduce the poly count on this. Convert to mesh and just join these origin to 3D cursor. Just repeat the steps here. The middle one will be noticeable. The middle one, yeah, I think it's okay now. It's maybe this stem is a bit, maybe somewhere like that. It should be fine. When you said it when it was too bent. Yeah, it was too bent. I think so as well. So okay, convert this to a mesh. Okay. Origin to 3D cursor. Okay, so now we have our palm trees. Let me grab these, put them back into the background. So we have our palm trees, very light ones. Let me rename them to palm trees. palms, palm tree. Freelancing most likely. Ah, nice. Yeah, it's a good way to get into the business. Okay. Now with this, we can come back here, switch these out. Actually, I'm just going to delete this, and in this particle system, we need to change this from the collection to the palm collection, which should be okay. Where did I put my palm trees? Okay, they need to be in their collection called palms, like that. So now what am I doing? Okay, now we can come back here and change this to the palm collection. They are rotating the wrong direction. Let's see if we can get the right rotation here. Let me just use object rotation. Yeah, like that. We need to scale this down. Getting the right rotation is usually the hardest part about this. Is just, for example, I don't want all of these to face this direction, the bent ones. What I can do is, let me see. Let me get, where's the palm collection? Global Z. It's really hard to randomize these, especially for the rotation. I don't know why. So what I'm going to do is just let me reduce the these bend ones, because it seems we have way too many than I want. We can use whole pick random, and also use count. Just have more taller ones. So let's see how this looks now. Let me go to the palm tree, leaf, play with the translucent. If we add more translucence, or I want them to be more orangey. So let me add something like that. Oh, and we are now starting to see the beach form, but we need to push these trees back. So this, something like that. Let me also go to this tree material here. Might want it to look a bit greener, so let me make them a bit let's go back to our reference image, see how things. Okay, maybe we don't need as many palm trees. Yeah, something like that. Want more of these on the shorelines. That I need more. I see. Okay, let's add these water waves. I'm just going to fake those with, I don't know, how is it called? Let me see, we have it in our downloads. This fake water form. Yeah, this water form. And I'm going to use, let me see, translucent alpha. Which just gives me So we don't want any shadows. Just want shaping this form a bit. Okay, the form is a bit too much, so okay. Another thing we could do is add some details to this rock, to the rocks, because right now they look a bit plain. So, how can we do this? Actually, let me use my quick decos here. Add-on. Quick decos here and grab some eroded pieces. Yeah, maybe something like this. Just add it on top of this. Let me just see. Let me add a shrink wrap. Oh, I can use nearest offset. Actually, I think we can just use projection. Let's see. I use color alpha here. Just invert this. It's not the most perfect, but you can see how that would work. Just giving us some rock details. Let's subdivide this a few times. Just shape this to the rock. Maybe subdivide it again. Just make these details and just keep hiding those corners. Yeah, now we have those I don't know, water details. I can use a color overlay a bit here. Okay. Let me see. Oh, we're missing a forest. Let me use my quick scatter add-on to scatter some more rocks. I think reduce the amount of trees in front of the big rock. For this,